Hello, and today I'm talking about how misfortunes can be blessings in disguise. Most of us sometimes we go through a lot of trauma. We go through something you did not expect, something so sad that you begin to think there is no hope. Sometimes you even begin to question whether there is God for all those things to happen. Sometimes I ask myself, why does bad things happen to good people? However, I have this to tell you. You see, when those misfortunes happen, no one wishes they should happen. No one wants to see those things happening. But no matter what, sometimes they happen. And when they happen, you can turn them to something positive. Even when they happen, it is a misfortune, but there could be a positive side of it. But until you make your decision that you want to see the positive side, sometimes you won't see. In fact, later on, you will sometimes see that this is the reason why that particular thing happened, but you won't see it at the time. But I want to share with you that most misfortunes are blessings in disguise, and I'm going to give you, I'm not just going to say it as something vague. I'm going to give you three practical stories for you to know and believe that most misfortunes are indeed blessings in disguise. Before I go into the three stories, most of you are entangled in jobs or careers which are not the best for you. You know it within yourself, but the courage to stop what you're doing and go and start something new is a problem for you. But the day you are fired, you begin to think and discover something new. Some of you, you are in a relationship where you know that this relationship is going to waste your time, it's not going to help you. But the courage to walk away is your problem. The day you lose that person, the day that person will say, I'm no longer interested in being in this relationship, so I'm walking away, that is the day you start to think of something else. You start to you know that you were really wasting your time. You will begin to think of how to make judicious use of your time. Some of you, someone is giving you money. The day that person, you lose that person, maybe that person dies, God forbid, but I'm just giving an example. Or maybe the day that person says that from today on, I won't give you again, you will not know that you have gold within yourself and you can do something. I'm going to give you three practical stories. The first one is the story of my own life. When I was at the university, things were so hard for me. My parents are very poor, so they couldn't get to support me. So I knew that if I don't take student loan, it was going to be difficult because my uncle was taking care of me, but the person will pay your school fees, and you still need accommodation, you still need money to go and feed, and my parents didn't have. So what did I have to do? Okay, I knew that if I don't look for additional source of income to support, it was going to be difficult for me. So I decided to take a student loan. I applied for it. My uncle endorsed it, filled the form for me, did all the things that he was supposed to do to guarantee for me. Because in those days, for student loan in Ghana, if you don't have a guarantor, you won't get it. So I submitted my documents. After 2 weeks, all my colleagues who I submitted with had their own, except mine. I followed to the school campus office, to the district office, to the zonal office, and I didn't get it. But they told me all my information was correct. So I should go back and they will follow up and I should expect to get it. The semester ended, I didn't get. The year ended, I didn't get. So I realized that if I continue to sit down and then depend on these people, I won't get it. And things are going to still be harder for me. So that made me start thinking about what can I do in my own capacity to get something. So I started thinking. And by the grace of God, I discovered an idea to write a book. It was a book for basic schools. I wrote that book and I took it to schools, from school to school, market to market, shop to shop, house to house. And I was able to sell, I think the first year I was able to sell about 1,200 copies or so. And then I went back to school. It was able to help me support uh, whatever I would need in school. Then uh, I continued like that. Every vacation, I have to go and then print the books, go and sell. Every vacation, I have to go and print the books, go and sell. And you know what? Up to from that time, that was around 2013 to 2021, I have sold 45,000 copies of that book. Is that not amazing? If I was given the loan, this particular dream, this book wouldn't have even come out. But it was because I was denied the loan that I was forced to think outside the box and come out with that idea. So that is just an example to show you that misfortunes, the misfortune of me not getting the student loan turned out to be a blessing for me. That's the first example. And I tell you, that 45,000 copies is because I did not sell all of it in 1 year. If not, I would have become a very rich person. But I sold it over a period of about 6 years. It wasn't just 1 year that I sold everything. It was about 8 years, between 6 and 8 years that I used to sell all of that. Okay, so we go to the second story. The second story is the story of Jack Ma. Jack Ma is one of the richest men in China, a billionaire, the owner of Alibaba. He has been the richest man in China for several years. So how did he get to found Alibaba? He started as in fact, he studied English in school, and American tourists used to go to China. He would take them through the communities and be translating from English to Chinese for them. Okay, now that man after school applied for jobs. He applied to work at KFC. KFC denied him. There were 24 people. They took 23 and left him. He applied to join the military. He didn't get, they did not recruit, they didn't take him. He applied to attend Harvard 10 times. They rejected him on all those 10 occasions. Finally, the man was so disappointed that he's not getting a job, so he had to start his own company called Alibaba. Can you imagine someone who studied English now being a starting a tech company? It was something impossible for people to believe. He even said that most people laughed at him and said he was a joker, and they didn't believe that the internet, they were seeing the internet as a scam in China in those days. Around the 1994, no one believed the internet at that time. So they saw it as a scam. But he believed in himself, and by the grace of God, he stayed true. He worked hard, and today, as we speak, we all know that he's the richest in China, among the top 5 richest. And as I said, he has been the richest for several years. So if he did not look at the positive side of what can I do with my own talent and ideas, if he was not denied a job, he could have remained an ordinary employee. If he had got that job, he would not have been forced to think and do something outside the box. That is the lesson to learn from it. The third story is the story of a woman in the Bahamas who was sacked from her job. She came to Dr. Miles Monroe. She said, I have been sacked or fired from my company. This is the last paycheck they paid me. I have children to take care of. I don't have a husband. What should I do? Dr. Miles Monroe said, stop crying. If you follow the idea, or if you follow the advice I'm going to give you, you will be glad you were fired. Then he told the woman, take the money, and do you have an oven in your house? The woman said yes. How often do you use it? She said once a week, every Sunday. He said, so you have an oven and you've not been using it, or you use it once a week. Take that money, go and buy some flour and some ingredients, go and make cookies. After baking the cookies, take it back to your former company and give it to your boss, and all the people there, give them free to test and to try and see how it is. She went and gave it to them, and according to the woman, after she gave it to them, anytime they have a program, they will order, they will call her, this person will say, bring me 2 dozen cookies, bring me this size of cookies, and all that. And within 6 months, her oven, the small oven that she was using, it was so small that she had to get an industrial oven. She got the industrial oven. At that time, she was having about 6 employees Within 2 years, she had 22 employees and her company became $1 million company. Now, just imagine this. Within 2 years, her company became $1 million company. Someone who was unemployed 2 years ago is suddenly a millionaire. $1 million, not any currency, but US dollars. $1 million company in 2 years. So you see, if this lady was not forced to think outside the box and to see Dr. Miles Monroe and to pursue that tangent, she would have remained maybe she could have remained an ordinary employee for the rest of her life. What is the lesson here? You see, most of us are sitting on gold. There are powerful ideas within us, but we are reluctant. We need to be pushed out of the comfort zone. Sometimes when a misfortune happens, that is the time you begin to think outside the box. Most of you can do wonderful things, but are you willing to start on your own? Why do you have powerful ideas, but unless something happens, you don't want to what? You don't want to think outside the box. There are a lot of people, as I said, give the example earlier, unless someone who was feeding you stops giving you money, you will not start thinking outside the box. Meanwhile, if you were thinking, well, you could come out with a lot of ideas to do something on your own. So from today, anytime there is a misfortune, just don't see the misfortune as a misfortune. Try to think what positive thing can come out from this. And all of us, in one way or the other. For me, that is how I always think. Bad things happen to me, but I try to look at the positive side of that bad thing. It is difficult to appreciate this thinking, because sometimes when it involves death, how are you going to understand the death of a loved one? What can ever replace it? Nothing can replace it. Sometimes your laptop would crash or your phone will spoil. It is sad, but it was because one day my phone got stolen that I had to realize that in order not to lose my future documents, I have to scan every document of mine onto Google Drive. So as I speak to you today, almost all of documents, very important documents of my certificate, my certificate I have acquired through in life, almost everything I have them on what? Google Drive. So even if I lose my phone or my computer today, if I lose anything today, what do? I just quickly go and look for them in my Google Drive and reprint it. I want to let you know that you can, with that kind of thinking, you can turn every negative thing into a blessing. Okay. I have a book called Achieving Your Greatest Dreams. It is a powerful book on how to achieve your most ambitious goals and dreams, how to discover your life purpose, how to move from where you are to where you really want to be in life. If you get a copy of this book, it will help you. I will leave it in the comment section. You can follow and get a copy. And I believe if you read this book and finish, you will never be the same person. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe to this channel, turn on the notification bell, and like this video. Once again, see you in the next video. Bye.